This is a short video to show how to quickly run clustering on a corpus using R. R is a very powerful statistical and machine learning environment with quite a large number of functions and libraries. And this is R Studio, which is an IDE for R. Now, I have actually no particular experience in working with text using R, but I thought I'd just have a look and play around a little bit with some spam data sets. Now, there are very few out there. I found only these two quite recent. And this one includes the other one, and so I've used it, and it's all also used in this paper, which is quite an interesting read actually. Now this is the script that I have written for this. I'm going just to walk you through the code, then execute it and have a look at some of the results. Now, the first thing to do is obviously to load the text mining library. There are a few options here. This one is quite important to tell R, for example, not to convert strings to anything else and work with strings. File encoding, the working directory where to get the data from. Then read the data from the spreadsheet and convert it to a corpus using the text part of the data, because it has the date and source and some other data as well. Now we can actually go ahead and execute this part of the code. Let's see how it works. Now we can actually inspect the corpus and see that we have 484 documents or SMSs in this corpus. We can have a look at specific parts of the corpus, metadata, and so on. Now, just a few other steps before the clustering. An important one is the cleanup of the data set. There are a lot of existing functions, such as, for example, to remove words that don't have much meaning. Here's articles and so on. They're called stop words. Or strip extra white spaces. There are many of these cleanup functions. I've used only these two. Now, the most important step here is actually to generate the term document matrix, which we're going to use in the clustering. And as a matter of fact, this matrix would also be used to build any other classifier. Now, another common step is to use TF, IDF to weight individual terms, which is done here. The clustering is pretty straightforward. Now, this is not a proper matrix, although it's called matrix. So we put it in a proper matrix and name the rows. And an important step here is actually to length normalize the matrix for the Euclidean distance to make sense here, which we do here and here. And then we run the k-means here. So I've chosen 12 clusters in 30 iteration. Now there will be a lot of tuning to do here. Actually, haven't done much, but that would be a lot of change of the number of clusters, how many iterations, the initialization probably, and so on. Then finally, just display the clusters, or actually the frequent terms in the clusters. Here, the terms that appear at least twice in the documents in the generated clusters. Now let's go ahead and execute the scripts. Here you go. So here we have the 12 clusters, or to be precise, actually the terms that appear twice in the document of these clusters. So we can see that some clusters are bigger than others, probably showing a common type of messages or something like that. And you can also probably put labels on some of these clusters, showing, for example, terms that actually point towards a particular type of SMSs, such as advertising prices or ringtones or any other type of SMSs. Now, this is obviously very sketchy, and a lot of things and tuning to be done for this to be